tonight on the South Today, a former ranger from Dunedin's Royal Albatross colony weighs in on the mystery of the stolen eggs. A high-speed boat with a sporty past offers a new water taxi service on the Otago Harbour. And Christchurch's Avon River has a pollution problem, but a new experimental biofilter is hoping to restore its glory. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Hannah Wilkins. A former ranger at the Taiaroa Heads Albatross colony believes the birds didn't have the proper protection. It's believed 4 northern Royal Albatross eggs were stolen from the reserve earlier this month, with some criticising DOC's role in managing the birds.
Checking in on the Royal Albatross eggs used to be part of Lyndon Perriman's day job. Now the former Taiaroa Head Albatross colony ranger is laying the blame of a possible theft of eggs at the feet of the Department of Conservation. Perriman was shocked to hear 4 northern Royal Albatross eggs vanished overnight recently. He says DOC removed a fence which could have prevented the eggs from going missing. A 2-metre-high barbed wire-topped fence was built in the 1970s, which made it harder for people to access the area. However, Perriman says DOC decided to replace it with a fence which was installed too close to the Royal Albatross Centre and isn't as effective. The Department of Conservation is still investigating the missing eggs, but says there's a high chance the mystery may remain unsolved. In Dunedin, the South Today.
A 28-year-old man who was arrested after the alleged theft of a police vehicle has appeared in the Christchurch District Court this morning. The vineyard workers accused of stealing a dog handler's vehicle after being bitten by a police dog in Christchurch on Saturday morning and allegedly went on the run. The man was arrested on Monday after a search warrant was carried out and appeared in the Christchurch District Court via video link this morning. He faces a range of charges, including the unlawful taking of a motor vehicle, stealing a police officer's cell phone and wallet, escaping from police custody, dangerous driving and failing to stop for police. The man's been granted interim name suppression and remanded in custody to reappear next month. A former America's Cup chase boat is now enjoying a new life after the hurly-burly of international yachting on the Waitemata Harbour. The vessel's now calling Otago Harbour home after being purchased by Otago Water Taxis as a ship-to-shore shuttle.
Making waves in fresh waters. This boat once had an impressive career at the upper echelon of yachting in New Zealand.
Originally it was one of the America's Cup chase boats from 2002 in Auckland, and they got donated to the Coast Guards way back then.
The former chase boat was purchased by Otago Water Taxis and Tours earlier this year. Around 2 decades ago it was zipping around Auckland's Waitemata Harbour and was later donated to local Coast Guards. These days it's shuttling tourists across Otago Harbour, albeit at a more sedate pace. Rob Emmett runs the company with his wife, with the pair sharing the ferrying duties on sea and land.
We're running people from Back Beach across to Broad Bay. My wife picks them up in the van, she runs them up the hill to the castle, and they have an hour and a half up there. Then she brings them back down to McAndrew Bay, and then they jump on the boat again with me and I take them into the steamer basin in town.
Emmett says the New Zealand Coast Guard received boats like this at the end of America's Cup campaigns. This boat became surplus to requirements for the local organisation after the latest chase boats were released to Coast Guards around the country. In Dunedin, the South Today.
A blaze started by arsonists in an abandoned hospital in Mornington caused concern for local firefighters. A fire crew was called out to the Dunedin suburb around 2:30 yesterday afternoon to put out a fire inside the old Glamis Hospital, which has been abandoned since 2011. Firefighters rolled up their equipment after extinguishing a chair and couch, which appeared to have been deliberately lit in the basement. Dunedin Senior Station Officer Mark Leonard says the abandoned and previously damaged building was extremely unsafe for firefighters. A witness believes the fire was started by 6 school students who were seen running away from the hospital. A private charter train travelling the length of New Zealand had its final pit stop yesterday in Dunedin. The train stopped off at the Dunedin railway station before heading off on the home stretch of its journey. The train was chartered by Pukekohe Travel with more than 80 passengers on board. Their tour started in Northland 2 weeks ago, with the group travelling by rail across the length of New Zealand, heading as far south as Invercargill. The travellers finished their journey yesterday, reaching their final destination of Christchurch. New Zealand's rivers and streams could be running a whole lot cleaner thanks to the invention of a Christchurch researcher. The eClean bioreactor is being trialled by the Christchurch City Council and is currently helping depollute part of the Avon River.
Enjoying the waterways of Christchurch is a pastime for many of its inhabitants. It is also a cause for concern. However, the trial of a new innovative method for improving water quality in rivers and streams is showing some promising results.
Waterways like the Avon and Takarawa are very special to people of Christchurch, and a lot of us have grown up, we've played around, we've lived around these waterways, and that people got very concerned that they've degraded over time.
The Christchurch City Council is supporting Canterbury University PhD student Nairi Scatuzzi in testing her new invention, the eClean bioreactor.
Water quality and water pollution is a passion of mine, so I got engaged in this project because I wanted to come up with a solution for water pollution in urban and rural environments.
The Council's trial of the biochemical water filtration system has been underway since late 2021 at the headwaters of the Avon in Corfe Reserve.
Basically this machine is a bioreactor. Basically inside it there's a whole heap of bacteria, and you pump contaminated water in one end, the bacteria eats up all the contaminants, and then clean water comes out the other end.
It helps filter out nitrates, phosphates and other contaminants from the water. The device can currently process up to 150,000 litres a day, but Scatuzzi says they're scaling up the technology to process up to 1 million litres per day. That would make the machine big enough to capture and process all the water in an average stream, lake or small river, helping restore New Zealand's waterways. In Christchurch, the South Today.
Whai Yakane, still to come on the South Today. Young Wanaka musicians hit the tour circuit, showing locals what they're made of after taking out a top prize. And Gore goes to the dogs after a weekend of sheep trials.
All new episodes of Put Some Colour in Your Life are now screening on Channel 39. Take a look at Australian artists and the techniques they use in their studio. Put Some Colour in Your Life, Tuesdays, 7:30.
Hi, my name's Matt and I'm the Dines Group CEO. Dines is a company that's focused on selling logistics solutions to its customers. We're passionate about selling efficiency, and we've been selling efficiency for over 50 years now.
We're a Concern Otago. Age Concern Otago hosts a multitude of social activities, including interwalks.
Hi, Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. We've opened another pop-up store in Invercargill. It's for a limited time. We're in D Street, 201, right beside the Lone Star. Come and check us out. We've got some fantastic deals for you. We've got moleskins, we've got every sort of shirt, warm ones, work ones, business, merino knitwear, jeans, trousers, you name it, the list goes on. It's such a big deal. Come and see us.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Alex Campbell Menswear, pop-up store, D Street, Invercargill.
Tēnā koe, welcome back. Young Wanaka band Parabola have been rocking local stages recently after winning a top prize at a Central Otago live music competition.
Mount Aspiring College pupils Dominico Robinson, Jaden Robertson and Abby Jago created the metal band Parabola 6 months ago. Their rock band placed first earlier this month at the Central Soundwave competition in Queenstown. That secured them a free recording session, the group describing their songwriting process in pretty simple terms.
Good riff and it sounds good.
Yeah, and then you get the guitar riff and you add the bass and you add the drums and then it's a song.
The solo. Yep, vocals.
Some of their musical idols include the bands Alice in Chains, Slipknot and Soundgarden. The band were back performing last weekend at the Music on the Lawn fundraiser for mental health support. In Central Otago, the South Today.
A sheep station near Gore has played host to some of Southland's top working dogs. While it was officially the dogs on trial at the competition held over the weekend, for some at least, it was the sheep that stole the show.
Selecting the right sheep is key to a successful dog trial, according to the organisers of the Southland Tucks Yarding Challenge. The annual event was held over the weekend at Glen Isla Station, around 25 kilometres outside Gore. The station also provided a flock of specially selected sheep for the trials.
So the sheep are all kindly sponsored by Glen Isla Station, and we're lucky enough to have half-bred, half merino, half crossbred sheep.
Organisers say this mix of obedient merinos and wayward crossbreeds makes for excellent sheepdog trialling.
I've been involved in this probably for 20 odd years, and I would say the sheep were the best we've ever had. But it was all down to the training down of them.
The trials attracted 122 entries, with Graham Cole from Seddon and his dog Kevin winning the main event by 3 points. The top 2 finishers from each region will go on to compete at the national finals at Pleasant Point in January. In Gore, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. A former dock ranger suspects poor fencing could be to blame for the theft of 4 Royal Albatross eggs. Dunedin has a new ship-to-shore water taxi thanks to a speedy former Coast Guard vessel with a sporty past. And Christchurch City Council's trialling an experimental bioreactor filter in the hopes of cleaning up rivers, starting with the Avon. And time now for a look at the weather.
The South Today weather, proudly brought to you by MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.
Looking at the situation, strong west to southwest airflow is ready to pass through the southern districts for the next few days, bringing showery and windy conditions. Heading to the top of the South Island. Well, wet, windy and wild with thunderstorms through here tomorrow. 20 for Nelson and Christchurch with a bit of sun, while over on the coast in Greymouth, expect 19 degrees. Travelling to South Canterbury and North Otago. Showery with westerlies returning tomorrow. Ashburton sounds humid with a high of 21, while Timaru and Wāmaru head for 19, possibly escaping showers the further south we head here. Heading westwards to the Central Lakes, and the gusty westerlies continue as we move through here, as do the showers, up to 18 in Wanaka and Alexandra, with 17 for Queenstown. Heading further south, well, more of the same really. It's going to be slightly wet and a very windy day, 16 in Balclutha and the Catlins, 15 the high over in Gore. And down to the deep south, showers tonight in Invercargill down to 10. The next 2 days look cloudy with showers, windy with gusty westerlies, and fluctuating around the mid-teens with 16 tomorrow and 14 on Thursday. And finally heading to Dunedin. Cloudy tonight once the muggy showers pass and down to 11. Moving into Wednesday and Thursday, expect sunny starts and cloudy days with light showers and fresh south to southwest winds. Warm with 19 tomorrow and up to 17 on Thursday. And that's the news this Tuesday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz. And you can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand. We'll see you again tomorrow. Ka kite a popo.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.